saying that people like fur coats can be beautiful looking, but dead and ugly on the inside. And so I think that it's basically if you were to go and touch the fur, and it's like, you're like, wow, this is beautiful. But then if you go around the fur, you know, then that's where you discover the ugliness that's inside. So
You
so I
mean
think it's
beyond the fur?
yeah. Well, he said, well, then he would have named it Beyond the Fur.
I don't get why. Yeah, I mean, that's a terrible metaphor.
Right. Well, he
If
might
you're
have
going
been
to use the
sitting
fur, it
there
should have been
with,
inside the fur,
writing and going,
beyond the fur.
beyond the fur. Around. Around. That sounds better. Around. Wait,
Not
let me go.
inside.
Around. Yeah, that actually sounds better than beyond.
Yeah, it's easier to scream. Yeah.
But then, but
You might be onto something there.
yeah.
Hey, welcome to Into the Music. I'm here with Greg. My name is Chris, and Greg, you've got something for me to react to.
I got
Tell me all
something
about
for
it.
you to react to. So another coffee request, another coffee,
Okay.
another dose of caffeine. This is
That's what
from
I need.
Mikey. This is from Mikey Cole. Mikey, if you might remember his name, he gave us
I
a
do.
Deftones song a couple days ago,
Right.
and he's
Right.
got another one from Mikey. And so this one is called "Around the Fur" by the Deftones. So it's a beautiful love song, and so
Around the fur.
oh yeah, it's
Is it a beautiful love? It sounds like
beautiful
it.
love
Just from
song.
the title.
Yeah, right.
Sounds from like the title. Yeah.
So go check it out and come on back and tell me what you think.
Okay.
All right, man. You came back. So what'd you think about Around the Fur?
Okay. This song, I have to say, I think I always liked this on the other one we reviewed. I'm mixed on it. I mostly like this song. What I and this is just my thing. The screaming part, um, I'm not crazy about, but I get how it fits in with the music, right? And also, I gotta say, there's a Nirvana song on there on In Utero where they do that, and I'm perfectly fine with it, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But but for this, I just maybe I wasn't in the mood for that. I don't know, but I like the other elements in the song. I like that thunking guitar sound. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah,
That heavy thunking.
yeah.
There's probably a word for that, a name for that, but
The
I don't know.
guitar, not the bass. You're
Um,
talking about the actual the
on the
guitar
guitar,
work.
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, and the sustain of the guitar is fantastic. See that green guitar back there?
Sorry, I'm tangled up here. The green
You
one.
see that green guitar back there?
I see gray.
Oh shit! Let me start that over. I didn't know I switched them out.
I'm like, am I colorblind?
Where did I put it? Oh, it's over there, man. All right. Well, anyway, if you keep this in, it's over there in the corner. But
Okay.
anyway, it's a Schecter, and I get that sound out of it so easily. It's just, and it's very cool playing
Yeah,
it. So
yeah.
I think I appreciate that sound more since I got that guitar, I was able to get that sound myself. But overall, I like this band. I like the vocals aside from when they were doing the screaming part. And so far, I know it's only been 2 songs there as we heard, but I would have to say overall, I do like it, and I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah, yeah. So I see what you're saying. I think that this I mean I don't know a lot of metal bands to really like make the comparisons and really
Uh-huh.
kind of get like articulate why I think this band's a little different. I sense that they are.
Mhm.
And just doing a little research and a wiki and kind of like the genres, which you kind of like
Well, they're like
that's
what did we say? They were they were
they
alternative
have a
metal,
whole bunch
which
of
is
identifications for them. I mean, and
right, right.
you take them, we've said this bazillions of times, you take them with a grain of salt. And it's
Yeah,
after you listen, then you kind of, then you and I can like say, well, sounds like, this,
right, right.
and
We
whether
kind of
we're right or
categorize it
wrong,
our own way.
it,
Yeah,
it's really, it's up to the listener and interpretation of the sound and the whole thing.
of
So
course.
that said, like Wikis identifies them as alternative metal and new metal, which you might
Right.
have that might have been
I
something
mentioned
you
that on the
mentioned.
last one.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think I
Um,
did.
which is like a combination of like all these genres with metal as the main one, the
It's
main
almost like
influence.
when they run out of they're just running out of descriptions.
I thought I saw hip hop in there, and there was
That's
some,
all kinds of
it was
yeah.
all kind of stuff.
Well, that just goes to the eclecticism of all music, really.
Yeah,
All music gets something from something
there was a
else.
little big band influence in there as well, and alt rock. So,
Some klezmer.
but where I'm gonna like give Wiki sort of a thumbs up in like what they're trying to say is that this is not a unique. I mean, this is not a run of the mill metal band. It really does
Right.
sound from it's not like, well, you never heard metal. It's like, no, I've listened to enough metal. I've just never really kind of stayed around to finish it. A lot
Yeah.
of it.
Well,
So
what's cool about this is that because you and I are not big metal fans, right? In
yeah,
general, we
yeah,
like our certain things from the metal world, but um, I think I think I can speak for you in that we're not seeing it all as one thing now, where maybe we were more inclined to, and that
absolutely,
there's more nuances between bands and so on. And I think that part of that is just not giving it enough of a chance. So, you hear something that automatically
absolutely.
triggers you to have an attitude towards it, and you don't go any further into it. Of course, why would we waste the time, right? We categorize things immediately. Like people say, yo, you shouldn't judge. Really? That's what we do all the time,
Yeah,
right? why waste our time on something if we've already seen a signal that says stay away from that? But in this case, it pays off because because we are discovering more stuff and appreciating it more and more. So I hope
You're
that all
spot
made
on.
some kind of sense.
You're spot on. You
Well,
really
thank
are. That no, it was really, really because if I was just to, which I have done in the past, if I was just to kind of with one broad stroke say I don't like it or I like it, but definitely don't like it, then it's like, well, where's the discussion? Like, well, would you mean you don't like anything of it? Well, yeah, there was some
It's
parts
like,
here,
well,
but I didn't like
I
it.
only went 2 minutes in, or well, whatever it is, right?
Right, but I'm just saying,
Not
like,
2 minutes in. I only went 20 seconds in, and then I turned around.
it does it does a few things, a lot of things. When you do that, it really ends the discussion. That's kind of it. And it doesn't
Mhm.
allow for any discussion, any possibility that there was some interest in parts of the song or where this and that. So anyway, with that said, this one was uh this one I didn't like as much as the first one, which is Dyed in
Mhm.
Blue. And because this was a real, the screaming and
Yeah, you really didn't have that in the other one, did you?
and my sons and I have this discussion. My sons, like, they love a lot of stuff that they kind of grew up in my music, and now they still like a lot of that stuff, but
Mhm.
they have the ear for this. They
Mhm.
have the ear. They stick around, they embrace it, they like it, they love it,
Right.
and it's the screaming part. It's almost like a rage kind of vocals thing that I've always have been fascinated by. That why there is a
Oh,
big,
about
huge
why
audience
people
out
are
there.
attracted to that?
Yeah,
I
because
was too, and I just thought these people must be super, super angry, But that's probably not the case.
because when
Maybe it's
he
for some, but not. It's not a standard thing for.
because when the singer, who I think his name is Chino Marino, when and he's also a guitarist. I think he's the main lyricist too.
Mhm.
When he mixes it up, because then all of a sudden he does this kind of, yeah, like all of a sudden he stops screaming and he does a very stylized kind of,
Right, right.
almost
Because
as
if it
though
was
like
that
you're
who was screaming throughout, I really would not have liked this at all.
right. So he does
It would have
definitely,
overwhelmed
he
me.
mixes it up, right? So yeah. Um, but even that, I think that there's just there's just, I can take a little bit of dose of that kind of thing too. But that was good that he did that, because he did definitely mixed it up. Um, and I get it. Like when he screams, there's that part of the song where he's really like, there's a certain, it kind of
Yeah,
makes
you
sense
can't
with the
you
song. He
can't
might
say
be
you can't
upset.
say
He's
it's
trying
not
to,
impassioned, and that calls for
right.
that.
He's driving the
So
point
so
home.
while it makes sense, just hearing it, um, it's different.
Right.
Although it might make sense, it's kind of like if you're watching a movie that you really like, and you see a part that's maybe shows some violence or gore,
Yeah.
and it's over the top for you, but you see that, oh well, that it makes sense that they showed that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And so that's that. The music itself, the guitar work is, the musicianship is like,
Yeah, they're
it's
pretty spot
just
on there. Yeah.
spot. It's just, yeah, it's just fantastic. These guys know how to play the instruments. It's just like, do I like, do I gravitate to this type of guitar sound? It's a very heavy, you use the word saturated with Oasis, and there's probably, but it's a very heavy leaded kind of, sort of sound to the guitar. And it's a very and it's just a repeat, and it's very, and everything's in sync with the drums and the bass and everything
Hmm.
else. And it's tight, and it's just heavy, and it's loud, and you're a metalhead, man, you love this, and so
You know,
this is not something that I would normally just kind of put on, you know, and just listen to. But a couple of things that like jumped out at me though, like, was definitely that guitar and the drums. The
yeah, the drums,
drummer,
right? Yeah, it
the
started off
the
with that. So.
the drummer to me was just, I mean, to me, he's he stands out. I'm not dissing any other guys, I'm just saying though, he really is. Uh and did I actually put him down? Did I actually? Yeah, drums, Abe Cunningham. So Abe is like, I really love Abe, man. He is like fantastic. Um, and there's actually Frank Delgado. They put him down as keys, the keyboard. And I'm like, where are the keys?
Yeah, I'm thinking that too.
I'm thinking
Unless there
like,
was some kind of ambient
ding, ding,
sounds.
ding, 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 ding. And I'm like, I don't hear the keys. But there was really something cool about the song though, where they did you kind of get like what the song was about?
No, I have no idea what this song is about.
So so around the fur. So what from what I kind of dug up, it's a fur coat. We know this, right? But like a fur coat symbolizes beauty and vanity, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's beautiful to look at, and then you're like, wow, and then but then you think about the person wearing the coat, they might be rich, and so beautiful to look at and soft to the touch. But if you go inside, there's that dead skin.
So why isn't it called Inside the Fur?
So 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 from what I understand, the song is to mean that he's saying that people like fur coats can be beautiful looking, but dead and ugly on the inside. And so I think that it's basically if you were to go and touch the fur, and it's like, you're like, wow, this is beautiful. But then if you go around the fur, you know, then that's where you discover the ugliness that's inside. So
You
so I
mean
think it's
beyond the fur?
yeah. Well, he said, well, then he would have named it Beyond the Fur.
I don't get why. Yeah, I mean, that's a terrible metaphor.
Right. Well, he
If
might
you're
have
going
been
to use the
sitting
fur,
there
it should have been
with,
inside the fur,
writing and going,
beyond the fur.
beyond the fur. Nah, around. That sounds better.
How
Around. Wait,
about
let me go.
inside?
Around. Yeah, that actually sounds better than beyond.
Yeah, it says you to scream. Yeah.
But then, but
You might be onto something there.
yeah, it might be. But then here was the really cool thing about the song that I liked is that
Mhm.
after he was done screaming fur, then it was like it went into this trance-like sort
Yeah.
of, everything stretched out. It went into
Yeah, I
almost
like
like
the changes like
I would
that.
say a dream like, but then maybe it would be more like a nightmare like because there was like this kind of like the sound that was like kind of menacing, if you were in a nightmare.
Yeah.
And so that
Can
happened a
you do
couple of
that
times.
again, though?
What's that?
Can you do that again?
What?
Whatever you did.
You love when I do Beavis or something, right? Yeah. But but then it would come back and then he would scream again. And then that last time, I think it did it twice, right? And then it was almost like I was like you're woken out of that nightmare, like someone's
Yeah.
like just
Yeah.
grabbing you and shaking you and all like that. So um it's a very it's kind of just a very aggressive kind of sound that
Hmm.
I just think that you have to really kind of, I don't know if it's an acquired taste. Like, I don't know if there's hope for me, for, if I keep listening to it. I got to tell you though, what you said like about 10 minutes ago or 5 minutes ago about like how we just don't look at it all in one sort of stroke, whatever like that.
Hmm.
We do kind of break it down. I think that's the way we look at things now. That's what we have to do on this channel. And it's something that we're
Yeah,
not
because
really trying to,
we want to appreciate the good things in the songs, positive things,
yeah, because then you're missing out on
Can't
so
be
much good
dismissive of
music,
things.
Well, and you know what? And you're missing out on actually because I find too with this channel also the interaction, the engagement that I'm having with the viewers out there, because as we drop each song, then they're telling you why they like that song. And so when you get their perspective on certain sounds, certain parts of the song, certain this, certain that, you get I get a full appreciation of even of a song that I actually like. So this is something like where, with even like a song like this, where I, tell me about why you like the song, give me
Mm.
some more background, give me more about I think that sort of knowledge is powerful, right? It might actually help to, yeah, to maybe better understand the band, the sound,
Mhm.
it doesn't hurt, so
Well, it
anyway,
kind of like if sometimes people will just explain things more to us, and then we we're more open to it. Then we're more receptive to
yeah,
there being something there. Once we've been told there's something there, it might not hit us in the same way, but at least we know there's something to pay attention to,
yeah.
which is good. It expands our minds too, and our knowledge and experience.
Absolutely. And I gotta say, I think this guy Marino probably has an amazing. Well, I mean, fans out there would say, well, he has an amazing voice because listen to the song. But I guess I'm sort of liking it to like again, non-metal, like just really in the kind of genres that I'm sort of used to. And I'm thinking like this guy could probably he's got the chops, man. He's got the vocals. He's got the power behind the voice, that voice. So there's a part of me that's like, don't scream anymore. Just write a song where you get just like, just
Just
sing like,
yeah, and then you'll see him do some like acoustic set, and you'll say, "Oh my God, his voice is just amazing."
I think so. I think so.
Yeah, probably, no, he probably, just because this is the genre he went into, doesn't mean he can't do
Well,
other stuff.
there's that Simon Garfunkel song,
Oh, with
Sounds of
that
Silence and Disturbed.
Sturb does,
And I
yeah,
think they're kind of like metal sounding too. His voice
yeah.
can be, and he belted that song out, man. It's like, holy crap. So, anyway, okay, I digress. Pull back. So, yeah, man. So, you want to take us out?
Sure. Hey, thanks for watching Into the Music. If you have any particular requests you want us to do, just go into our Ko-fi site, which is you can get to from a link under our title on our page. And we will catch you next time that we dive deep into the music.
Nice. I like that, man.
Thank
See
you.
ya.